Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Taj and I'm a paycheck budgeter documenting my financial journey here on YouTube. If you are returning, welcome back, beautiful budgeter. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how my month ended for the month of February. So if you are interested in seeing how I closed out my February's budget, then stick around and keep on watching.
Get out the way, who got a watch, who got the time, I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want big rocks. I got plans, you got talk.
All right, welcome back. So if you have been following my channel and watching my videos, then you know that I had started in December. I started to expense track. And then I felt like it could be beneficial. And so I carried it over into the month of January. And then I decided that I was going to go ahead and continue expense tracking to help me see how much I'm spending in particular categories instead of keeping the mentality of, okay, I cash stuff for this, so no matter what I spend it on, as long as it doesn't go over what's in the envelope. But I also need to know what I'm spending, or it's beneficial for me to know what I'm spending in certain areas, in certain categories, and try to make adjustments as I go. So I did start doing that, and I kind of adjusted or kind of played around with my budget journal to accommodate for those changes. Now, let's just kind of address the elephant in the room. I know my budget journal looks different, y'all, but remember I told y'all I was kind of playing around. Well, I had bought some gold disc to take the place of the gold coils that I was using for my green journal. When the disc came in, the size just did not work for me. So I ordered a bigger size. When I ordered a bigger size, the thickness part here, so on the disc, this part right here was way too thick. So it just still would not let the pages turn effortlessly. And so I just didn't like them. So I sent them back. But because I sent them back and I had been, kind of experiment with my journal, I needed something to put mine back together for the meantime. So y'all, I was always a happy planner. So when I tell you I got sticker books and this every which way, every size you could think of, because I was heavy on the happy planning. And then eventually I started going into coils. But I still have a lot of the stuff from Happy Planner. So what I did was I decided to kind of purpose some of the discs that I was kind of just had sitting in my bins. I decided to use them. So because I had jacked up my cover with all those different holes and everything, I was like, well, I need to print out another cover. Well, I wanted my cover to match my disc, because I just felt like, I want to do something different. So that's hence what you see. Now, that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and jump into how February ended for me. All right, so February, let's just kind of go into the month view. So February was a pretty, I want to say it started out kind of hectic, but our taxes came through and kind of saved the day, thank goodness, right at the end. So so I ended up, let me just say this, I ended up reprinting a lot of my pages, because remember when I was trying to figure out the coils, I cut the ends of the pages that was already in the journal. And because March is already decorated, I didn't want to start all over. So I kept March, but everything else I reprinted. So the size it look off, y'all, but rest assured after March we be back in the size that we need to be. But these sheets are kind of off in size because I was cutting in stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. So for the sake of time, I already calculated how much each category. So I was expense tracking for the month of February. I feel like I did really, really good versus what I did in January. January, I kind of just went ballistic, should I say, with spending and stuff like that, especially in my food category. And we'll kind of see that later on in the video. But I think I did pretty good with the month of February because I had a lot of no spend days. Now, my no spend days for the month of February, let's see. So I did pretty good with the month of February. Unfortunately, I kind of stopped tracking, but most of these days are a no spend. Things got hectic at the end, and I stopped tracking. But even without this week, I feel like I did really good because, girl, January, we had more spend days than we had no spend. So I think I did pretty good. But I could tell that I did pretty good because when I look at my expense tracking, it wasn't as crazy as it was in January. And the categories that was a little crazy, there's an explanation behind it. So let's go ahead and look at the total. So as far as kids, I totaled that up, and that ended up being $72.76. And most of that was from Desire because of Mardi Gras. She was wanting to dress up for Mardi Gras and in a parade and stuff like that. So that's what that was for. So that's why that total to be $72.76. That majority of that was her. Food, we did $914.46. Beauty, we did $169.23. Car maintenance was $57. Debt was $3,282.80. And a lot of that was because thanks to my taxes, I was able to pay off, some things and get caught up on some bills. So the debt in the bill section category is more because I actually was able to pay more. Business wise, I did more. I spent more in February than I did in January. But we'll see that later on. But that was $438.37. Bills totaled to $6,970.61. Miscellaneous was $399.73. A big chunk of miscellaneous was me sending money over to Ron's, I guess, tax preparer or whatever. And then because he was at work, so he was like, I just basically sent her she sent the link to his invoice. I paid it, and then he'll just kind of reimburse me. But that's why that number miscellaneous was so high, because that was it didn't fit in none of my categories. So that's why I placed it, the unexpected. And then medical was $209.04, household $102.72, savings we actually had $1,905, and then entertainment this month we did not spend anything on entertainment. So if I jump into with those numbers, I was able to I'm going to pull these three out. All right. And then let's go to the front. All right. So my summary for the year. Here is the numbers. So we did, let me just do it like this. All right. So as far as our food category, so in the month of January, we did $1,164.45. Majority of that, if you remember my January budget, closeout budget, most of that was eating out. It wasn't even groceries. So I was like, girl, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So this month in February, we did $914.46. But pretty much, I'm going to say at least 90% of this is groceries. So I feel like we did pretty good. even though the difference between last month and this month, January and February, so 1116, what is I'm talking about? $1,164.45 minus $914.46. So $249.99. So let's say $250 less than what we did last month. I feel like that's pretty good. Plus, this month was mostly February was mostly groceries and not just me splurging and eating out. Car maintenance, in January we did $177.59, and then in February we only spent $57 in the car maintenance category. Miscellaneous, last month we did not do January. I keep saying last month. January we did not do anything for miscellaneous, but this month, or the month of February, we did $399.73, and like I said before, that was mostly from I ended up sending his tax repair $320. So that's basically what that was. So really, without that, I only spent $79.73 in miscellaneous categories. But you know, medical. So medical was in January $109.23. $109.72. But in February it was $209.04. And the reason why there's a difference there is because right at the end of the month, I had an unexpected medical expense where I had to pay a unexpected copay. I went to the periodontist, and I had to kind of prepay for that first visit, and it was $128. That was on February 27th. So right at the end of the month, I had that, and that's what boosted that medical category for me. Then down to beauty. So beauty, in January, it was $18.43. In February, we spent $169.23 on health and beauty category. Household was $406.64 in January. And then in February, we only spent $102.72. So I feel like we did really good there. Entertainment, January we did $44.79, and in February we did not spend anything on entertainment. My daughters, anytime that I give them something, then I put that goes in their category. So January was $23, February was $72.76. Again, this is mostly from Desire from Mardi Gras. Bills, this category is kind of a bittersweet, because in January we spent $3,108.45 in bills. In February we spent $6,970.61 in bills. The reason why I say it's a bittersweet is because we spent more in February than we did in January, which, just looking at it, is like, oh, girl, your bills are, they were booming in February. No, actually, that's what it's supposed to be. That this is average what my bills are every month. The problem is that in January, we only spent half of that, which means we were behind. So this shows you how much I was trying to play catch up, because I was literally I only paid half of what really was needing to be paid for the month of January. So although it looks like, girl, you kind of went wrong because you had more bills, no, I actually paid all my bills and got caught up. So this was the sad part, because if you look at my January's, let me see, because I took January out. Hold on. If you look at my January monthly, my budget goal was $6,922. My total income was $73,4511, and I only spent $3,000 on bills. That's not, no, that's not good. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm thankful for where we are now, but this is just to show you, baby girl, we was really okay. Business wise, January we did $10.85, but in the month of February we spent a total of $438.37. Debt, another category where I can actually see. So debt in January, we allocated $1,177.80 to our debt. We were able to allocate $3,282.80 in debt for the month of February, which we were able to not only pay our bills, but we were also able to tackle some debt. My taxes didn't go the way I wanted, the way I would have desired for them to go, but it went where it was necessary for them to go, if that makes sense. Savings. I feel pretty good about this category because in the month of January, we saved $318. And then in February, we spent we sent $1,905 total towards savings. Now, I know that when I said, okay, girl, bills, we spent $3,108.45, and that was half of what was due. So, girl, why you got $300 allocating over to savings? Well, savings is challenges, money that I'm putting to the side for something in the future. I got a comment on my last video and was like, a lot of people don't like monthly budgets, but it's necessary. And why you allocating this amount of money when you have debt? Well, my savings challenges are not just there for fun. They have a purpose. And the purpose of those savings challenges, so one, for instance, is back to school. If I don't save for back to school and I pay all of this money to debt, guess what? I'm going to end up in the same goddamn debt that I was in because now back to school is around and I ain't putting nothing to the side for it. So now I'm swiping my cards again. On top of that, with my consumer debt, i.e. credit cards, I'm only able to pay so many times a month on a particular card. So every week, I can't just allocate money every week to that card because I'm going to get a message that states that I exceeded the amount of payments. Why that's like that, I don't know. So you don't just assume that I'm doing savings challenges just to be doing them for fun. There's a reason behind it. And if you watch, I know some of y'all are probably new to my channel. So you just, that probably was just an innocent comment and whatever. But girl, listen, girl, you got to go back and watch. You got to see. We don't just do savings challenges just to do them. They all have a purpose and a very good purpose. Okay, so back to, I just wanted to get that out the way because I felt like that needed to be explained. I did kind of explain it in the comments, but that's that in live in the flesh. King, I spent $266.93 on King in January, but in February I didn't spend anything, and I was like, wait, hold up. I ain't buy no food or nothing. Now, I do remember that the last time I bought food for him, I bought a really big bag. So I'm like, I know I bought a big bag. So why is it saying I did not spend no money on King in February? Well, then I thought about it. I was like, I think what happened, and I had to go back and double check myself just to see. And I was correct. So when I bought that food for King, the big bag for King, it was at the end of January. So that bag lasts me all of February. And that's why I didn't have to spend any money on him. As far as like, food wise or whatever. So I was like, girl, I'm going to do that again because if I could, the next time I buy him food, I'm going to get that size bag. That way, now I know what size bag will give him a month of, well, I don't have to every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks I'm at the store buying food. So my total income, I added up my total income for the month of February, and we brought in, and this is including my extra income and my taxes, we brought in $15,413.91. We saved $1,905. So that is my income and my savings for the month of February. So from 15,413 91 minus 73, 45, 11. So that's the difference between the income for January and February. And then as far as savings, we saved $1,587 more than what we did in the month of January. I knew that these either February or March was going to be extremely over because I knew in between those 2 months, you know, I was going to get a tax refund. So yeah, that's how that ended up. So going back over to my monthly budget sheet, my goal for the month of February was to bring in at least $6,900. My total income was $15,413.91. So of course we did, you know, exceed that thanks to taxes. And so my total expenses, y'all, remember last time when I did the end of the month of January, I was like, baby, I am not adding this up. Well, guess what, girl? I went on ahead and had to add it up because I needed to fill out this. I didn't even fill out this in the last one in January, but I couldn't chicken out this time. So total expenses was $14,521.72. That left $892.19 left over from what we brought in versus what we paid out. And so, yeah, that's my budget. That's how I did. Going forward, this is how I am going to track and how I am going to close out, my budget, because I like it this way. This way, I'm actually tracking. I can see where my money is going. I can add up my categories. The highlighting method does help with the visuals of being able to easily just add up my categories. I know where the money went, how much went there. And then I'm able to come, excuse me, y'all. Then I'm able to come in and key in these numbers to see over time, you know, how much increase or decrease I'm having in my day-to-day categories. So, yeah, that is how we are going to continue tracking. And hopefully we do even better with the month of March than we did in February. Now, of course, the income ain't going to be booming like it was because girl taxes then came and went. But as far as spending, tracking, and staying ahead, afloat on these bills, you know, I'm hoping that all of that works out. So yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it for this closeout. That's it for this video. Someone did ask me, about, let's see, it's in my catch-all. Get that. So someone had asked me about the sheet that I showed here. I was able to just type out all my monthly bills to help me with my monthly budget to make sure I wasn't forgetting any of the monthly bills. And then this one was me just kind of a quick glance at my snowball method and how much the minimum payments were. And I'm just, as I'm crossing them out, I'm adding it to, like, so for instance, credit one was $30, Zelles was $30, Tower Loan was $110.20. Because these are crossed out, I added these three totals plus what the minimum payment is for this, and that is how much I'm going to be paying every month for credit one until we get it paid off. So someone asked me about these sheets, so I am going to go ahead and upload them on my Kofi. I did make a little adjustment so that you are able to use them. This was kind of customized for me. So, of course, I deleted all of the bills and just left it blank so that you're able to utilize it. And then for the snowball method, I kind of made sections for you to be able to check off as you go, the balance of the card, the amount. So I basically had it to where it's kind of universal for anybody to be able to use it. So that will be in my Ko-Fi. The link will be in the description box, or, you know, in my description of my YouTube channel. It will take you over to my Ko-Fi, and you should see that by the time this video is uploaded. All right, y'all. So that is how my month of February closeout went. That is it for this video. If you like this video, if you like my channel, please give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you could be notified each and every time I upload. And I will see you beauties in the next video. Okay, my girls, bye.